Hello and welcome to week 1 of Kin 332. This is Dr. Hinchel. I just wanted to go over a little bit about what was expected in the course and what's going to happen during week 1. Hopefully you had a chance to go over the syllabus. I want to just go over a few key points. Just know this is my contact information. You can reach me at the Cal Baptist email and I will respond to texts as quickly as possible. And you can call if you need to also. If you need to have a face-to-face, we can do a Zoom or FaceTime or any other kind of platform like that if you wish. This is our textbook, so hopefully you've had a chance to get that already. And the quizzes will be go over the text, so just make sure that you read those chapters. And when you're writing some papers and so forth, you'll be asked to reference things in the textbook. The information that you read in the textbook will be helpful in getting information and figuring out other sources to find information for your assignments. So this week you'll be reading chapters 1, 2, and 3. I've attached some PowerPoints with some voiceover slides. In some of the slides I don't talk over every slide, just I go over some key points, some examples for things to help you understand some of the concepts and so forth. There'll be a quiz every week except for week 8. The questions aren't meant to fool you or anything. They're just to help you show that you've read the textbook. There will be 2 labs in this course. This first lab is this week. In this lab you'll be answering some questions, and it'll sort of look like you're taking a quiz. It'll actually say quiz. It's really not a quiz, so don't get upset or freaked out that it's a test. It's not really a test, and you can stop it at any time and it'll save, and then you just come back to it. But just make sure you don't wait till the last minute to do it, because there are many parts to this and you're going to have to do some other readings and find some other sources to help you answer the questions in these labs that you're going to be doing. So please don't wait till like Saturday or Sunday to do the assignment. At least look through it at the beginning of the week so that you can see what all is required, so you can have enough time to finish this assignment. Question 4 in the lab sort of gives some people some troubles, so I thought I would just go over a little bit of what's expected in this. So open this worksheet here, and it will have the instructions in it. The first 2 examples in this assignment have you filling out the way the student or the person in the picture is having their movement. So for example, in this first one, it's just talking about a martial art picture here of her doing a high kick. So the number 1 is going to be identify the primary motor skill. So she's doing a kick. And then you're going to list the movement characteristics. So what characteristics are important for her to do that skill? So just a sample example would be these things right here. I'm not going to read it to you. You can read it there. And then the third one, this is the one where a lot of people have trouble with. You're going to link each of these characteristics, strength, coordination, balance, to a principle of motion and stability that requires mastery. So what does she need to do to master that movement, okay, to be proficient in this high kick? So in chapter 3 of your textbook, it talks about the principles of motion and stability. So she has to have strength, right, because she has to stand on the 1 foot and get her foot up high. And so what does that strength look like? Well, it increases the force, okay? So I'm not going to read this to you, but this would be an example of what you would say. Coordination, okay, it's an open kinetic chain, and if you read in chapter 3, it talks about what an open kinetic chain is. And she needs balance, of course, to do this skill. So now when you come to the first one, then you have to figure out what's the primary motor skill? What is the skill that is being shown in this picture? What are the proficient performance requirements? Like, what does that person need to be able to do to perform that specific movement? And then what characteristics from chapter 3 about motion stability are you going to see in this movement, in this motor skill? And then you'll do the same thing with this example. And remember, chapter 3 is going to really help you with finding the correct terms. You're not going to be using the same things. Like for this one, of course, she's going to need strength and she's going to need coordination, but there's some other things that maybe she needs. So you need to make sure you look at that and see what specific characteristics are needed for that are connected with motion and stability in being able to do this movement, okay? And then for the last one here, you're just going to watch this video and then you're going to answer these two questions. There's several questions within it, so please make sure you answer it completely so that you get all the points. So that's a brief overview of week 1. If you have any questions or concerns, if something needs more explanation, just get a hold of me and I will do my best to get your questions answered